good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Studio 7 LiveTalk, where we are on the Women's RoundTable. We're broadcasting from our homes. I'm Marvelous Mhlanganyahuye. This June the 11th, broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C. due to the COVID-19 pandemic currently sweeping the whole world, including Zimbabwe, where currently we have 320 positive cases and 4 deaths.
Yes, and I'm Sithandegile Hlanga here in Washington, D.C. Today we'll be talking about these coronavirus cases, also including what's happening politically in the country.
Yes, Star, and today we don't want to take too much time because we have amazing women on our panel, including, I think, a gentleman as well. So we're going to be looking at the current political situation where we've seen in recent days, we saw yesterday 3 members of the MDC Alliance being arrested yesterday, and they are currently in a police custody after they were allegedly abducted a few weeks ago. And also they were taken into hospital and have been recovering in hospital. But when they went to present their passports at the courts, and they were then arrested when they were at their lawyers' offices. So these include Joanna Mamombe, the MP for Harare West, Cecilia Chimbiri, and also Netai, another MDC Alliance member, also with the Youth League Star.
Yebo ke lamhlanje ke sikhangela udaba lolu lwe-coronavirus sibona ukuthi elizweni sabantu abantu abangamakhulu amathathu namachumi amabili 320 sebehlaselwe ligcikwane leli. Kodwa nje kungabe kukuhle ukuthi inani lalaba ababhubhayo ngenxa yaleli gcikwana likhwelanga, lokhu likulabo abane i4. Ngakho ke sikhangela labo ukuthi igcikwane leli njalo limemetheke kakhulu emhlabeni jikelele, ngoba siyabona ukuthi kulabantu abedlula kulabantu ke abedlula inkulungwane nangathi mina izigidi eziyisikhombisa lamakhulu amane i7,409,132. Lapho ke sikhuluma ngemhlabeni jikelele ukuthi ke asebebulawe leli gcikwane sebesedlula amakhulu amane i417,377. Ngakho ke siyananzelela njalo ukuthi ilizwe leli esikulo lapha ele-United States yilelo ke likhokhela ke ngezigidi ezimbili ke kuyedlula lelo nani, njalo nxa sikhuluma inani leli lokho liqansa, lokho likhuphuka. Ngakho sikhuluma nje ngezigidi ezimbili mhlawumbe sokwedlule, njalo libulele ke lapha abantu abedlula inkulungwane ezilikhulu i-112,000. Ngakho ke eZimbabwe kunengi ke okwenzakalayo, konke ke siyabe sikukhuluma kona lo msakazo. Sizaphinda njalo sithinte udaba lwesiphathamandla sebandla le-MDC, abesifazana abathi bahlukuluzwa ngamapholisa. Siyabona ukuthi bona ke bathi bathunjwa balinyazwa khathesi, kodwa ke sebesetheswa icala ke lokuthi baqamba amanga, bathi bona babethunjiwe bona bengathunjwanga. Labo ke ngonkosazana Joanna Mamombe, unkosazana Cecilia Chimbiri, unkosazana Netai Maroba, inkokheli zogatsha lwabatsha ke ku-MDC. Yikho ke yilo ke lolu daba esiyabe silucubungula lapha, njalo silabahlonitshwa bethu esiyabe sicubungula labo, sixoxa ke sibonisana ke. Yebo ke Marvelous.
Aiwa, kunewo vachangobva kupinda muchirongwa pari zvino tichange tiri kutaura isu panyaya yedambudziko reCovid-19 kana kuti chirwere checoronavirus icho pari zvino chatekeshera pasi rose. Tinoona pari zvino chirwere ichi chawanikwa icho munyika chichibata vanhu vanosvika ivo 320, uyezve vana vakawanikwa ivo vachishaya. Tinoona kuti John Hopkins University yemuno muAmerica inotaura iyo kuti pane vanhu 2 million vawanikwa vachibatwa nechirwere ichi pasi rose, 112 vakawanikwa ivo vachishaya. Uyezve muno muAmerica 2 million and then 112 vachishaya, asi globally pasi rose pane 7 million vanhu vawanikwa ivo vachibatwa nechirwere ichi, 416 vakawanikwa vachishaya. muno muWashington DC mandinogara mune vanhu 9,537 vakawanikwa ivo vachibatwa nechirwere ichi, 499 vakawanikwa ivo vachishaya. Asi tichange zvakare tiri kutaura isu panyaya yezvematongerwo enyika, tichiona isu kuti munguva yapfuura tinoona kuti pane madzimai matatu eMDC Alliance inotungamirirwa navaNelson Chamisa, vanoti ivo muzvare Joanna Mamombe, muzvare Cecilia Chimbiri namuzvare Netsai Marowa vakawanikwa ivo vachinzi vakapambwa uyezve vakawanikwa ivo vachishungurudzwa vachizowanikwa ivo vachipinda muchipatara. Ndobva vaimiswa pamberi pematare vakapuwa mari yekuti vabhadhare mari yechibatiso, asi takazoona vachinzi ivo vaende kumatare vachinosiya magwaro avo ekufambisa. Tichizoona zvakare nezuro vachinzi ivo vakawanikwa ivo vachisungwa, vachinzi ivo vakange vataura zvisiri izvo panyaya yekuti vakapambwa. Saka pari zvino vatori vari muusungwa kuHarare Central, uyezve tichange tiri kunzwa kuti zvafamba sei munyaya iyoyi mukukurukura kwatichange tiri kuita. Saka tine vanyarikani vari pano vakati one day nhasi, tine madzimai akawanda ari pano, saka tichange tiri kuda kunzwa kwavari kuti vanoona sei zviri kuitika izvi panyaya yezvematongerwo enyika. Uyezve tichiona kuti imo muno muAmerica manga muine zviratidziro zvanga zviri kuitika. Tine munyarikani wedu wekutanga, muzvare tingati amai Lucy Ndongwe Chikore, taurai yenyu zita renyu uyezve kuti muri kupi, motipawo mafungiro enyu ezvatiri kukurukura nazvo ipo pano.
Takatarisana nenyaya dzevasikana vatatu vekupambwa kuZimbabwe. Zvinhu zvinosuwisa zvakanyanya pazviyero zvakasiyana siyana, tichitarisa kodzero dzevanhukadzi nedzekuchengetedzwa. Tinoona kuti vasikana ava kodzero dzavo dzakatombunyikidzwa kare. Zvakava ndosaka vakawanikwa vachiitwa sexually abuse, which is something that we really condemn, and we strongly condemn it as the women's movement. Kuti nyangwe vanhu vaine mifungo yakasiyana nezvematongerwo enyika, kodzero dzavo dzinofanira kuchengetedzwa, uye zvakanyanya tichitarisa mabumbiro epasi rose tinoona vakadzi, even paine civil unrest chaiyo, vanotaura nyaya dzekuchengetedza vasikana nevakadzi even in areas dzinenge dzine conflict. So panyaya dzemadzimai aya ndinoona chiri chinhu chisina kunyatsomira zvakanaka. Hurumende yedu inofanira kubuda pachena pamberi mukurwira kodzero dzevanasikana, and also ndevechidiki vari kupinda mune zvematongerwo enyika. Tinozozviona zviri zvinhu zvinodiscouraja madzimai kuparticipata mune zvinhu zvepolitics because zvinenge zvichivavhiringidza zvakanyanya. So zvinhu zvekuti it really needs to be looked at, zviadreswe, and also madzimai ave protected panyaya idzodzo, zvikuru sei vanenge vachiparticipata munyaya dzepolitics. And takatarisana naJohanna, ane immunity yaanofanira kunge ainayo zvakare semumiririri mudare reparamende. So all those rights are being violated and no one is really thinking about it. So we really need for these women to be protected. And when I look at nyaya dzemhirizhonga yakanga ichiitika muno,
muri kustate ipi pari zvino?
Ndiri kuWisconsin.
Muri kure sei nekwakatanga mhirizhonga idzi?
Tiri kuMidwest tese, but pane chinhambwe chakanyanya, asi takaona mhirizhonga idzi dzakazotekeshera nenyika yacho yese, saka hapana kana nenzvimbo yakasaririra. Takaona vechidiki vachibuda zvakanyanya, ndosaka ndanga ndichiti kune madzimai echidiki ekuZimbabwe vari kuparticipata munyaya dzepolitics vanofanira kuprotectwa, human rights avo vanofanira kuprotectwa, nekuti takaona vanhu vakanga vachisimuka vachiti zvona vanhu vatema vakakosha zvakanyanya munyika muno. Vanga vari vechidiki zvakanyanya, nyangwe pachinzi pane curfew, nyangwe mapurisa achiuya achida kuita zvechisimba, vanhu vanga vachiti aiwa hazvizvo zvinofanira kuitwa. Saka tofanira kuprotecta vechidiki vedu kuZimbabwe semaprotectirwa avakanga vachiita muno. Hatina kuona vanhu vachirasikirwa neupenyu, hatina kuona vanhu vakanga vachiuya kuzombunyikidzwa kana kuabductwa kuendwa navo.
Aiwa, bata yenyu makadaro regaitimbodzosa Star. You can come on there. We had our first guest who was just talking about some of the issues that we saw happening here in the United States. She's also talking about the issue of Joanna Mamombe and the other two ladies from MDC. She's saying that she feels that what has happened may actually deter other women from joining into politics. Over to you, Star.
Yebo ke lapho sizwa ukuthi omunye umhloni besilomunye umhlonishwa wethu lapha othi hayi lokho kwenzakala kulabo abesifazana beMDC abathi bahlukuluzwa ngamapholisa bekungakuhle ngempela ngoba kuzayenza ukuthi abanye abesifazana bengabi lohlonzi ekuthini bangene kwezombusazwe labo babe inkokheli ngakho kubisela emuva ke abesifazana. Ngakho-ke lapha silesinye njalo isiphathamandla sebandla le-MDC esiyabe sixoxa laso yena-ke ngunkosazana-ke Carter Richards, unkosikazi Carter Richards usebhilithane-ke yena ngiyabona nangu khona ngcono-ke yena azitho ngegama ye ungaqalisa-ke ngubani esikhuluma laye?
Likhuluma lo Carter Richards, mina ngisendaweni yase-Wales, kodwa la ingaphansi kwe-UK khona lapho, kodwa ngelinye is just an independent country, kodwa ingaphansi kwe-UK. Yinye yama-5 countries angaphansi kwe-UK.
Yeah, ungumgcini sihlalo webandla le-MDC khona ngapho le-MDC Alliance. Ungasitshela umbono wakho ngokwenzakala kumantombazana la mathathu, Joanna Mamombe, uCecilia Chimbiru, uNetsayi Maroba. Sibonile-ke ukuthi setheswa-ke icala lokuthi abakhulumanga iqiniso. Ungathini ngakho konke nje indlela udaba lolu oluphethwe ngayo?
Yeah, mina ngingumgcini sihlalo we-branch ye-Wales khona lapha e-UK. So lapho masikhangelele indaba yamankazana la abesintwana laba eyayenzakalayo kuma-viki aphelayo lawo, khanya njengokuthi indaba yangikhona kayibanjisiswanga ngendlela eqondileyo ngoba lapha sikhangelele lokuthi sexual violation of young people who are trying to introduce themselves into politics, which I will just ngizabuyela lapho omunye umama isikhulumi sakuqala esike satsho ukuthi kuzenza ukuthi abesintwana babuyele emuva kwindaba ze-police instead yokuthi thina siyakhulisana thina abesifazi ukubana sifanele sibe lelungelo lokuthi singene ku-politics njalo siparticipate ngendlela eqondileyo njalo sihlonitshwe ngendlela eqondileyo. Manje esokukhangeleka kathesi ukuthi uhulumende wethu ngendabeni yokuthi a-protect abantwana laba ngendlela okwenzakale kuye njalo bayenze ama-investigations aqondileyo ukuthi laba abayibo abaqonene lokuganga okukhulu kangaka bangeniswe emthethweni babotshwe, kodwa-ke kusephendulele izinto sokungani laba abantwana yibo abasebenze ububi after all these violations that were made on them, instead of protecting them according to the law, ukuthi ba-protect in torture, kuba tortures lezinto ezinye ezijiyene ze-cruelty, inhuman indignity. Yazi lapha abayangiswa ngendlela enye emangalisayo. I don't even want to put myself into their position because I wouldn't even know how I would wake up and face the nation and face the country. Siphinde sikhumbule ukubana umama uJohane ngomunye wabakhokheli omela ephalamende, omela abanye bakhe kuphalamende. Kambe ngemva kokuyangiswa ngesiga esingaka esikhulu kangaka, amboni ukuthi uzakuyathola amandla okubana abuyele njalo esimeni sakhe sokuba nguye, ngoba lokho okwenzakala kulaba abantwana is completely destroyed their lives forever. It's something that me myself.
Kulungile bese ngubamba umlomo khona. Siyananzelela njalo ukuthi uhulumende uthi hayi mhlawumbe abakukhulumayo soqiniso. Njengebandla le-MDC liyake likucabange khonokho ukuthi kungenzakala ukuthi ngempela kwenzakalanga lokho wenzela nje konke
lokho that's very impossible ukuthi kulabantwana abantu abale responsibility abanjengalaba abangasuka bekhulume into engangesimo abatholakala beyiso sona. abatholala beyisosona ayazi bengcolile bengagezanga bengaqedakala ukuthi bayisimo kanjani. Akula umuntu olengqondo. There is no one with normal senses who will put themselves in such a situation where they come up and proclaim such a claim. It's very, very unfair for them to be treated in that way. Ukuthi kuthiwe ngamanga, have they made any investigation to prove that it's the lie? And if they've made, then who have they been asking? Because all the investigations have been made through these girls, and they've told themselves ukuthi wahamba njani ngendaba yangikhona. So ukuthi kuthiwe balamanga, I don't even see ukuthi amanga angikhona avela ngangaphi. Njalo baku-investigate bafika ngaphi ukuze bakubone ukuthi abantwana laba baqamba amanga. Uhambe njani? Uhulumende yena ngokwakhe uye ongathembakalanga endabeni ezinjengalokhu ukuthi avikele abesintwana, avikele abesifazana endabeni ezinjengalama organizations amanye achiyeneyo okufanele akhulume. I challenge most of the organizations, be they voluntary government organization or whatever they are, women organizations should rise up and stand up for other women, because if you don't do it for yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you. It is very, very painful. I can't foresee myself ngihlala ngiphila ngendlela eqondeleyo ngengalokho okwenzekela abantwaneni labo. Ukuthi uba ngamanga angiboni ukuthi ukuhamba kanjani, angikwazi ukuthi bakuthatha ngaphi ngalokho.
Yebo ke, hayi sibongile ke, sizanika omunye wami ke ithuba uMarvelous. Marvelous, you can come in there.
Yes, I think Star, I'll keep you on there. I'll keep you on there so that, you know, I saw you had asked a very important question that government had actually said they are refuting this abduction actually happened from what we saw. And we are seeing that actually they are now in police custody, answering to those charges that they were allegedly falsifying these claims. What do you say as MDC Alliance?
Yes, you can go ahead and answer, Ms. Richards.
It's very unfortunate for the responsible government to say that to young people with this state they were seen coming out of that situation. I don't even know that any reasonable person who can say that. And can you imagine if your young daughter or young girl goes to the shops and come around and said, I've been raped, and you have to turn around and say, I think you are lying, you've done that to yourself. Nobody can do that to themselves. Mm-hmm. This was a very unfortunate situation which has been treated very, very unfairly about the government. They violated those women's rights, their freedom of torture, cruelty, and degraded them in so many ways. Instead of supporting them to come back to their life, they are punishing them for what after all the punishment that they have gone through. I think it is a very, very unfair situation with the government. Our government is very, very unfair in so many things. And why at all times are they targeting the people, the supporters of the MDC Alliance? Why would they do that? If we can see that happening, and there are so many other people who have been raped and degraded and tortured in so many ways in Bulawayo that are not even in the limelight. It's not the first time that we've seen that. There's so many girls that have gone through such a situation. Kayisibo bodwa laba abantwana laba abaningi abantwana abangayizwa abangena phakathi kobunzima esihlangana labo kadesi.
Mai Richards, amene mungataura here nerushona kuti munoona sei zviri kutaurwa nehurumende izvi kuti pari zvino vatowanikwa ivo vachivapinza zvakare muusungwa madzimai ava vachivati ivo zvavari kutaura hazvisi zvechokwadi panyaya iyoyi yekuti vakapambwa.
Inozwa iyo hurumende yedu inozwa inoshayiwa respect panzvimbo zvakawanda stereke. Nekuti ukatarisa izvinezvi pane chirwere chiri kunetsa cheCovid chavanofanira kutarisana nacho. Kuno kushayika kwekudya kwevanhu kuri kuitika kumushako, vana vari kutambura, vanhu vari kusvika vasina kudya. Instead kuti vaconcentrate panyaya dzinovaka nyika, nyaya dzinovaka vana vedu veZimbabwe, ivo vari busy kuconcentrate nenyaya dzekungoda kusunga vanhu vasina kana mhosva yavakaita. Hurumende inofanira kutarisisa yoteedzera mutemo wedu wehurumende wakavimbika wakaiswa pasi nehurumende kuti unofanira kuteedzera. Kana vachida kuinvestigata vanyatsotevedzera mutemo chaizvo vachiinvestigata, nokuti kuti zvavanenge vangofungawo kuti vanhu vapinda pamatambudziko akadaro kozonzi haiwa hapana zvakaitika, hamuna kumboabdata, hamuna kumboita sei. Inyaya inorwadza zvikuru stereke kuti hurumende instead of protecting their own loved ones, vanongoprotecta a few individuals. Ndofunga kuti vana ava vakangochengetedzwa zviri very very unfair, and vakawanda vanhu muZimbabwe uku vakawanda kubhulawayo. I think there's quite a few girls as well who've gone through such a treatment iri kutreatwa nehurumende yedu, and people are so afraid to come forward even if after so many things have happened. We saw kuti muna January papa, after those shooting madzimai akawanda still akarepiwa nemasoja. Zvese izvi havanei nazvo kuti vambozvitarisa kuti zviri kufamba sei kuti vachengetedze utano hwemadzimai.
Tiri ipapo tinoona ikoko kuBritain nyaya iyoyi yeCovid-19 iri kubata madzimai akawanda vari kuita mabasa evana mukoti nevamwewo. Zvakamira sei paCovid-19 apo tichitarisa muBritain mamuri?
Wales kwandiri kuno I was reading the Welsh government report this morning. Nyaya yeCovid yatodzikira chaizvo zvekuti guidelines are relaxing a little bit, not too much but a little bit, and the death rate has reduced quite a lot kunoku kuWales.
Aiwa, batai zvenyu makadaro, tichadzoka kwamuri. Regai nditore zvakare Star kana kuti ndimbodzokera kuna amai Lucy Ndongwe Chikore vari panapa. Amai Chikore, manga muri kunzwa zviri kutaurwa naamai Kata Richards vari kuti ivo madzimai vanofanira kubatana pamwe chete kuti vawanikwe ivo vachishora kumbunyikidzwa kwekodzero dzemadzimai nyanya munyika. Munoona seizvi?
Zvinhu zvandinokurudzira zvakanyanya. Madzimai ngatibatanei mativi ose. Hazvinei kuti uri webato ripi kana hauna bato raunotsigira. Rape chinhu chiri life altering for the girl child, and it gives lifetime scars. So you are a woman first before you are a political animal. So we have to stand up for other women. And also this weaponization of rape, using rape as a weapon to silence dissent, is totally unacceptable. So as women we have to stand up, because nhasi ndiwe mangwana ndemumwe. Hazvina basa kuti even tikada kutarisa ndisikade kupinda zvangu mune zvematongerwo enyika, you would find that there was a time when one faction yanga ichitonga but the other one yakazopinda ikatangawo kutonga from the same party, and you find kuti the other party that is now ruling yakumbunyikidzwa vamwe vavo vavaimbotonga navo. Saka zvazvinoreva ndezvekuti mangwana hazvizivikanwi kuti njuga dzinomuka dzakarerekera kupi. So we need to stand up as women, and these are women's rights, and women should be protected from any form of violence. Just like the resolution 1365 United Nations inotaura about protecting women in conflict zones, and also not using zvinhu zvakaita sekurepa vanasikana nemadzimai as a weapon. So I totally agree kuti madzimai ngatibatane. Hazvina basa kuti wakamirira bato kana hauna bato raunomirira. Kana uri munhukadzi, even kana uri amai, hazvizikanwa kuti mangwana mwana wako zvinonomuwanira kupi, and hauziva kuti mwana wako paachakura achanga achisapota chii.
Tiri papo tisati takusiyai kuti titore vamwe. Mataura eminyaya yeUnited Nations, tinoona kuti iro bato reUnited Nations rakatotaura kuti pane zvizhinji zvinofanira kuti zvigadziriswe panyaya yekumbunyikidzwa kwemadzimai matatu aya. Munoona zvichiteererwa here tichitarisa kuti pari zvino pane mapisha-pisha akawanda ari kuitika munyika yeZimbabwe pari zvino?
Vangatadza zvavo kuteerera, but it is a stain on their record for a government that came in ichitaura kuti isusu we are a new dispensation. So for them, we know that they want investors to come in, and they want a lot of things. They want to be portrayed differently out there. So it deters my investors, and also once it has a stain on your record, hazvimirire zvakanaka hurumende yedu. So vanofanira kutoteerera. Nyange zvazvo kuteerera kwacho kuchitinetsei, asi nyange hurumende isingateereri saizvozvo, madzimai, we have to rise up and say no to violence, no to rape as a weapon, because sezvataurwa the other panelist kuti takaona mazuva right after my elections, rape again was used as a weapon pavaenda madzimai achinorepwa kunana Chitungwiza and other cities. So we don't need that.
Aiwa, Rigaindi Mbodzosa Star back on the panel so that we can take our other guests and just hear. We are hearing there from Ms. Lucindo Ngechkoro, who's talking about, not using rape as a weapon in politics, especially, she was just citing some of the examples that we've seen happening in the country. But over to you.
Yes, coming back to you, Ms. Richards, we see that women are facing many hurdles again when it comes to during this lockdown, which is meant to curb the infections of coronavirus. Some have nothing to eat. Some have to go and line up for food like Millie Meal and other things. What can you say about the way the government is handling this coronavirus pandemic?
During this coronavirus, our government, I haven't seen anything from our government. I've seen nothing that the government has done for the people, for its citizens, about the coronavirus in terms of food, giving out food, sharing food. Despite that, I was reading one of the articles, because I know what the government did, World Bank and so forth. I was reading an article which said, there is a certain pocket yanga reserved kuti ipiwe vanhu in terms of nyaya dzakaita pandemics. And I know kuti government yadi yakapiwa mari, I think up to 7 million or more. I'm not 100% sure of the figures, but asipa mari iyo instead kuti iende kunoseva vanhu vari kutambura citizens eZimbabwe, vana, madzimai, vatiri kuona ndiye anopinda cross line at all the times, because we are the bearers of everything. We look after the children. We even look after our husband. Without us, our husband won't even exist. We have to cook. We have to do that for everything. As an African woman, we do everything for our families. So our government has done nothing. I have seen other members of parliament distributing food here and there with the little bit that they have and the contributions that they have from other people and the donations. Like I think maybe in America they've done that. We have done donations here in England that have gone back home there to help with COVID and food donations from their own pockets, from their own private organization of the monies. People have gone there to help out people. But the government, I haven't seen, I don't know, maybe you have seen, but I haven't seen any help at all from the government, regardless of all these money that have been given out, except for the scandals that have been blowing up in terms of the COVID treatment that was given to Zimbabwe, which has been diverted to a different pocket altogether. Yeah, so the government really has done nothing at the moment.
Yeah, kodwa sisiqathanisa lokwenzakala khona ngapho ke eBhilithani. Siyabona ukuthi eZimbabwe kwesinye isikhathi abantu bathi bahlukuluzwa ngamapholisa. Abesifazana bathi labo nxa belayina laphana abanye ogogo abasebebadala bafuqwa elayinini, abafana laba abancane bebangenele phambili. Njalo sabona ke abasifazana ababili uNokuthula Mpofu loNtombisodwa Mpofu abatshaywayo ngamapholisa esithi ba-break ama-lockdown rules, baxathuka lapha sasibabona impikitsha. Kuningi-ke okwenzakalayo, ungaqathanisa nje lokwenzakala khona ngapho, ukwephulwa kwelungelo kwabantu nokuswelakala kwempahla zokusebenzisa ngesiNdebele.
Udubo kakhulu kuhulumende yethu ukuthi they are politicizing everything. Everything has to be politically related. Even where political does not work, is not supposed to be involved at work. They politicize everything. Yes, instead ukuthi bancede abantu regardless of who you are. In times of disease, pandemics, and so forth, we take away our parties, we take them out and put them on the side and work with people and support people and help people who are in need, which I think everybody's need. Lockdown, but there's nothing to feed for the people. So uhulumende fanele ukuthi ayenze iplan. Amapolisa asalandeli i-constitution. I don't even know what the constitution exists in Zimbabwe. Everybody, as long as you are in institution, you can do whatever you want. Ngoba siyabona ukuthi amapolisa and ama-Zimbabweans, I don't know what has gone wrong with them at the same time. Ngoba at one time ngabona ukuthi lapha Amapolisa, they were dragging somebody, bemngenise ebhanini beyazi bemchaya. Abantu, they were just looking. So many people were, and the van lana driver so many miles ihamba between people. Abantu bebukele nje omunye wabe echaywa esenziwa nje intando ngamapolisa. Amapolisa eZimbabwe, honestly, mina if ngangena lapha nakhulumile lana, wonke amapholisa nakufanele aphume kungena abantu abatsha abazalandela umthetho welizwe. I don't even know ukuthi useselomthetho osebenza, awuselamthetho eZimbabwe. Abantu sebesenza abakufonayo, especially amapholisa le-army.
Yes, siyananzelela ukuthi abanye abanengi abavela emazweni angomakhelwane njengele South Africa, leBotswana, bakhona abanye ababuya khona ngapho kwele Bhilithane, labanye nje abavela kwele Melika, bafika betholakale belegcikwane leli le-coronavirus, njalo abaningi yibo abengezelela inani eliseZimbabwe eliyi-320 kathesi, kodwa sibona ukuthi iningi laba kade bekwamanye amazwe. Ungathi abantu bahlezi njani khona ngapho kwamanye amazwe lapho kulegcikwane leli eliningi khona? Kungabe kuyikuthi bengabe belithatha endaweni lezi okuthiwa ama-quarantine centers, babuya belalo? Ungathini wena uSineko wakho uMbongo?
I-problem enkulu kakhulu engayibona eZimbabwe ukuthi abantu bonke uma lapho bemisiwe bengasavunyelwa ukuthi bangene elizweni bebephume, kodwa there is only one race of people eyabivunyelwa ukuthi ingene. And the race of people engenayo yona leyo yiyo lapho kwaqala khona wonke ama-coronavirus onalawo. So that's where i-disease is easily spread. Sabona lo umsekeli kamkhokheli welizwe la ebuya evela khona ngale kubo China, enga-checkwa loku-checkwa khona kuyindawo eyayidume nangegcikwane nalelo. So is these little things that increase the viruses everywhere, spread to people in so many ways esingakunanzeleliyo. Ngingazi ukuthi lapha abasuka kuleli lizwe bafika njani, ngoba once it started everything was stopped, then i-movement yaba very very limited. It's only iZimbabwe lapho kungena khona ama-Chinese kuphela. Azange ngabona kwezinye indawo abanye abantu ababengena.
Yes, coming to your branch in Welsh, are there many Zimbabweans, and do you ever meet, and do you have any projects which you are doing for Zimbabwe, or you are just helping people with ideas? What exactly do you do?
Athina okwakathesi kasikabe le project, but sesile sikhwama sibili, isikhwama sethu it's a little bit, it's a fat bag really, esifuna ukuthi siyisebenzise kuma projects ethu, kodwa i-target yethu khona ngapha sina sisewelsi bekuyibhinga. Indlela yokuthi besitargete ibhinga bekuyikuthi khona sikhangelele ukuthi ibhinga yona ngokwayo, come rain or sunshine, thickness or hardship, or thick and thin, bevele besupporta ibandla lethu ele-MDC Alliance. Belendlala benjalo bengalazi itolo behamba miles and miles and miles of kilometers ukuthi beyethola amanzi, beyethola lokhu. So sithe, I think in other ways indlela ofanele sibabonge ngayo ukuthi they remain committed, and they've remained so since MDC has started up to now. They are committed, they are resolute, they are so focused, they love the party. Iloba kungalalutho olukhulu kangaka ababenzela lona. So thina iproject yethu izabamba khona ngale endaweni yasebhinga. So sikumalungiselelo nje ukuthi sikhulume lobaba uSibanda onguye obambe khona ngale endaweni yebhinga. Kodwa asikaqali, sizaqala nje kumnyaka ozayo, ngoba siyakwazi ukuthi into esifuna ukuthi siyenzele i-area not indawo yonke, but sizakhetha nje maybe izigaba ezimbili ngezintathu esizasebenza lazo sibili ukuze zithole indaba. Sikhangele endaweni yamanzi, sikhangele ukuphakamisela omama khona ngalabe ebhinga, ama-projects atshiyeneyo. Yikho esikukhangeleyo, njalo imali sibili sesilayo, kodwa sifuna nje we've got a timing, kulalapho esithayimele khona.
Yebo, hi, siyabonga, sikuzwakele. Marvelous, you can hear there. Mrs. Richards is saying that among other issues, they also have projects which they have lined up to help women and other people, especially in Binga, which is usually remote, and usually they don't have access to many things.
Rega ndivape mukana wokuti Mai Richards mukatitaurirawo here nechirongwa chenyu chamuri kuita kubhinga panguva ino yeCovid-19 kana kuti nguva yese yamunenge muri kuita zvirongwa izvi?
Yeah, lapha kule i-Women's League eyalapha yayihlanganisa sonke le Britain ngale. I'm sure ba-organize ngesikhathi laphana kuze kube lesenzakalo esenzakala eBhinga laphana. Bathumela izimali ezasebenzisa ukudla okuthize, izinto ezithize zokuncedisa imuli abantu baseBhinga.
Taura yenyu neyeshona.
Ndoziva ukuthi Women's League yekhunokhu, because Women's League involve Wales Island Britain yaka-organize this a small pocket yakaenda kubhinga kunobetsera madzimai nemhuri yese yekubhinga ikokoko yanga yapinda dambudziko rakaitika a couple of months ago.
Aiwa, tinotenda chaizvo. Rambai henyu muripo, tichadzoka kwamuri. Regai tiende kuna mai Lucy Chikwero timbonzwawo kwavari kuti pane mabasa amuri kuita here ekubatsira madzimai. Sangano renyu rinonzi chii uyezve pane mabasa amuri kuita here ekubatsira madzimai panguva inoyi yeCovid-19 kana kuti yecoronavirus?
Tine sangano rinonzi MTC, Educate a Girl Inc. Isangano rinobatsira zvakanyanya vanasikana vakanga varasikirwa nemikana yekuenda kuchikoro, ichivadzosera kuchikoro. Ende vazhinji vacho tinenge tinyanyotarisa nherera asina kana angachakwanisa kumubetsera ndo vatiri kuendesa. So panguva ino yeCovid-19 tinoona kuti nherera zhinji idzi dzimwe dzacho dzakanga dzichongochengetwawo nevavakidzani. Vamwewo vanenge vazongomuvhawo kuenda kunogarawo nedzimwewo hama dzakaita sana sekuru vasingakwanise kana kuvariritira. Saka panguva ino seMTC tanga tichiendesa mafood packs kune nherera idzodzi. Mafood packs ayanga achisanganisira hupfu, zvinhu zvakaita sana machunks, mafuta, sugar, flour for each family. So that is the project that we've been working on. And the other one ndenyaya yekuti hurumende yakanga yataura kuti zvikoro zvave padhuze kuvhurwa. Takawanikwa tichiwanawo tsamba kubva pachikoro chatinyanya nacho munharaunda ndeyekuti kuchimanimani kwakarohwa necyclone idai mazuva aya. So vakanga vachikumbirawo kuti dai zvaikwanisa matikwanisa kutowanisawo zvinhu zvakaita semamasks. So seMTC takakwanisa kutenga machira ari kusonwa. Vasikana nherera dziya hatingovabatsiri kubhadharira mafizi chete, tinovakurudzira kuti vakwanise kuitawo mabasa emaoko. Saka machira aya munherera idzi takakwanisa kunge tichidzipawo that task yekuti dzipuhwe pattern naticha wavo fashion and fabrics. Vogara pasi namenta vedu vachivadzidzisa kusona machira kana kucheka vachisona mamask. So that's the current project yatiri kushanda nezvayo pari zvino.
Mungati muchange muri kubatsira vanhu vakawanda sei?
The request yakabva kuchikoro vakanga vachiti vari kuda about 1,800 masks for their staff and mastudents avo, vachiti vabereki havasi kutombokwanisa kana kuwanira vana vavo mamaski iwawa nekuti inzvimbo ine sezvendareva kuti ine nherera dzakawanda nevanhu because maruwa. Saka iko zvino seMTC pari zvino takakwanisa kureza mari yetiri kukwanisa kuvasonera about 500 but tichiri kungorana the project iyo kuti kana tikawanawo anokwanisa kutibatsira nekuti takanga tichirana concurrently project yekufidha nherera idzi zvakare nemamask. Saka tikawanisa anokwanisa kutibatsira kuwedzera machira iwawo zvingange zvakatikoshera zvakanyanya uye zvakakoshera vana vemudunhu iroro kuti vakwanise kudzokera kuchikoro safely.
If you can just tell us in English, what projects do you currently have during this COVID-19 as an organization? Where are you working and what's the name of your organization? How are you impacting women and young girls?
Okay, the organization that I'm coming from is called MTC Educate a Girl Inc. We are currently operating in Chimanimani, working with victims of Cyclone Idai, as well as victims of, if you are an orphan, it can be, really don't ask you how you become an orphan because it's more about empowering young women and girls. So we have been working with those orphans who had dropped out, especially girls who had dropped out of school. So we have been offering them food packages during this COVID-19, as we realize some of the girls actually moved in with neighbors or with grandparents who can't even work anymore. And actually, we also know, we are aware that there was a drought this year. People didn't get good food, good harvests. So we have been working with them, trying to source food for them, and also so that we alleviate the suffering from, from the people who are helping these kids. We are also working with the school because we got a request from the school that they wanted to safely reopen as the government had instructed, but the local people couldn't afford to buy masks for their students. And also the school was also requesting because they don't have money to even buy for their own staff. So as MTC, we managed to source fabric to make about 500 masks that we are currently working on. And we don't just empower the girls by giving them an education and food and sports equipment, we also want them to have life skills. So these orphans are also helping making these masks that them and their peers are going to be using as they go back to school. So currently, as I said, the school was requesting about 1,800. So we managed to source about 500 as of now. That's what we are currently working on.
And which areas are you operating?
In Shimanimani.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. If you can just stay on, I'll just get my co-host, the Star.
Question for her and her organization. That
she can come back on, actually.
Yes, we realize that in your organization, as you work like that, the cost of living is also rising and the prices are high. So if is there any other way you feel these people can be cushioned? Because fine, you may give them these empowering products, but we see that now they are saying that sugar goes for an average of 190 bond notes, milk $40, and the average salary of teachers, who were getting this from the teachers union, is $1,800 after some deductions. So how are people really surviving? Looking that, you're seeing that you are not helping all of them. How do others survive?
I think we've actually lost her. So as soon as she comes back, no, that's okay. But she seems to have come back. So
yes, we'll pose that question to Ms. Richards, maybe.
Okay, no, if you can, maybe there's a video of a woman in Zimbabwe. So let me play that quickly, and then I'll come back to you because I think she's back. So once we're done with that video, we can actually hear what she'll be saying.
Mai takajaira kuti kana tine zvinorema we go to church, tichinosangana, tichinoshare my problems edu, we pray for each other. But right now, we're at home. Nyangwe chandinetsa ndakangogara mumba mangu handina kutaurira. Saka with this lockdown, it has become more difficult because my burdens, women are overburdened really. Hatina kuchanoshare. Kunisika kwataina tainotaura nyaya tichishare. Saka unobva waona kuti with this COVID, a lot of things are mounting on women, and I can see that the repercussions will be.
We're hearing there, Star, a lady is actually saying that before COVID-19, people could go to church, they could talk to other people, they could share problems. But she says because of this COVID-19 now, there are going to be a lot of mental health issues because women are now stuck at home with nobody to share their burdens. But I see that Miss Lucy is back. So what I'll do is I'll bring you back up and you can ask her that same question. I think she heard what you had asked. She can then come in and...
Yes, just briefly, the cost of living, the price hikes, how are people surviving since others are outside your assistance?
I don't know if you can hear her. She's saying, she's asking about the cost of living.
Oh, I had not heard her question.
Okay.
So in terms of the cost of living, it is very, very difficult for ordinary women to be surviving in Zimbabwe right now. because you actually find that the gap between the rich and the poor has really grown so much. So all the people who have money, they actually have the money, but most people do not have it. And if I think you have been following with some of the videos that we were sharing of the girls giving their own testimonies, you'd find that they're actually they value things like even cooking oil. They haven't had it in a while. They were looking at it as a luxury. It is really difficult for them to get food, and with the same with so many others in different areas. They as you know that the value of the Zimbabwean money versus the US dollar, and most people are actually charging in US dollars, and yet people don't have that money. So it is really difficult for the people that we are helping, we are working with, as well as others that we can't even reach out to.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. And coming to you, Mrs. Richards, how is the Zimbabweans there in the diaspora? Are they still able to help as much as they used to during this lockdown? Their parents back home sending money. Has anything changed? Do you believe people have still kept their jobs from what you are observing?
Yeah, I have kept mine. So, others have, it depends on what type of a job you are doing.
Okay.
I think some have, some haven't, and I think we've lost quite a few because usually we are in the forefront. We are forefront workers. Most of us are nurses, care workers, and maybe doctors and social workers. So we are really in the forefront. We are those type of workers who are in the forefront. But I think they are still sending money. I had problems when it started, but once everything just got settled a little bit, then everybody was able. I've been able to send money back home. I haven't had problems, so I hope everybody has.
Yes, sesikhangela ke lokhu ukuthi intengo yempahla lokhu iqansa nsuku zonke. Ungathini ngakho njalo uthi ibandla lakho lingenza ngcono yini lingangena embusweni?
Yeah, kakhulu. Ibandla lami lona livele yazi lizakwenza izinto. Ngiyakwazi ukuthi everything else takes time. It's not a matter of going there and changing things straight away, but within I believe that within a couple of months, 6 months and onwards, we will see slight changes that shows a lot of improvement from compared to what is happening now. Everything has gone worse from what it was. Nothing has changed. Everything that they promised, they haven't done it. They were going to do this, they didn't do it. They were going to do that, they didn't do it. I'm not saying that the MTC government will go in, alliance government will go in there and change things straight away, but people will be able to see a change as soon as they get into power. Ngiyakwazi ukuthi izinto ziyadura kakhulu ekhaya. Uyabona uma lapho ukhangela, if you see the price of bread, of price of meal are resembling your salary, which means you've got nothing really. Akulanto ozawalayo nxa imali yakho impolo yakho usukwana isinkwa kumbe usikwana impuphu kuphela. Wena uzasala lani, uzakudlani, uzagada ngani usiye emsebenzini wakho khona. Izinto zinzima kakhulu ekhaya. Something needs to change, and now is the time. Women, girl power can do anything. They can do it. If the girl power are united, they stick together and speak in one voice, they can make a change.
Hayi siyabonga ke ume khonapho ecingweni kancinyane. Marvelous, you can come in.
Yes, Star. I was hearing there you asked a very important question. I think, just to recap, what's your view on what she just said?
Well, actually, she said that if a government comes into power, she believes that they will change things within a few months, because the current government, they have promised a lot of things, but still they haven't achieved anything. But of course, that's her view.
Yes.
We usually speak to, actually I spoke to ZANU-PF official. He's the member of parliament for Vungu, Mr. Omeka Svanda. He was in the sports, for attending.
Yes, what did he have to say?
He was actually saying the government is handling the coronavirus pandemic very well. and especially by testing people in quarantine centers so that they don't spread it to their communities. And he was actually saying the social welfare distribution, the food distribution, is done in a, not in a partisan manner. Everyone is receiving the food stuff, and we are saying everyone has to support President Mnangagwa so that he achieves all his goals. So it depends on who you're talking to. You talk to MDC, you talk to ZANU-PF, people give you varying opinions. And some, of course, in ZANU-PF will agree that the economy is not functioning well, will tell you about sanctions, and that some people are sabotaging the government, especially business people. So if people who just raise their prices willy-nilly, but if you talk to the business, they will tell you that the production, everything, the costs, they factored everything into their prices. So it depends who you are talking to most of the time.
Thank you, Desta, for also coming up with what the other people are saying, because as Studio 7, we always strive to get both sides of the story. Thank you so much. Let me come back to you, Mr. Chikowero. If you can just tell us, I think we're nearly coming to the end of our program, but from what you can see, especially in the girl child movement, how do you think the government has been handling the issue of educating the girl child on the issue of COVID-19? Are they well educated, especially in the areas where you're working?
I think our government has beautiful policies on paper. But when it comes to implementation, that's where we are lacking. I've had a chance to attend various sessions where the government has been presenting. You'd find that they'll be talking about kids, all the school children, not walking for like about 5 kilometers to school. But in the area that I'm working, I have girls who are waking up at 5 a.m. to leave the house at 5 so they can start school at 8 a.m. So it means these girls are walking up over 8 kilometers in one way and another 8 coming back. And with most of them, as I was saying, our girls are mainly in the starting from secondary school, because we have a stream in both Form 1 and Form 2s. Their siblings, they are not even going to school, and we are empowering girls mainly, and we feel so bad when we leave their siblings that are boys. This is an issue that our government really need to look at, and they need to do a lot of soul searching on this one, because when we talk about it in boardrooms, when we talk about it to the international community, people would think that we have a very functional education system, and yet that is not true. The schools are so far away, and in some cases they actually don't have the school buildings to learn in. So they are actually at the mercy of the cold, the rain, you name it. So it is we really need to pull up in terms of implementation.
Motaura yenyu nechivanhu kuti takatarisa nyaya iyoyi yeCovid-19, mungati imi hurumende iri kuita zvakakwana here kudzidzisa nyanya vechidiki? Hatichati vasikana vega, nekuti vechidiki ava vazhinji vakuchema-chemawo vachiti imi semaorganization, non-profit kana kuti maorganization akazvimirira, manyanya kuita mabasa ekungobatsira vanasikana chete. Ko vanakomana vari kubatsirwawo nani panguva inoyi?
Takazvitarisa, hakuzi kunyepa kuti masangano anomirira kunyanya batsira vanasikana akati one day, asi dzimwe nguva unenge uchiona kuti at times to break the cycle of poverty mumadzimai, or at least to lift it up, because kuva tichikura mukabvunza madzimai edu isusu wainzwa chinzi hanzvadzi yangu yakadzidziswa, ini ndakanzi ndichanoroorwa. Saka nofunga ndopakazobatira zvakanyanya vemasangano anowanzomirira kodzero dzevanasikana kuti vati aiwa ngatisimudzirei vana. So wangu pane gap rakanyanya ipapa, ende hurumende yedu dai zvaibvira yabuda mumaboardrooms nekupa ma-press statement and all that stuff, vaenda kuimplementation, because ikoko ndokuneda kune gap rakakurisisa. Ndine vana vari musangano rangu vanofamba vanobuda mangwanani na5 am kuti vabate chikoro na8 vachifamba about 8 kilometers one way kuenda kuchikoro. Saka zvinhu zvekuti number one zvinosiya vanasikana vari vulnerable and chimwe chinhu chinonyanya kuti tirerekere kuvana vasikana zvakanyanya. Kuvakomana unoona kuti vanogona kungonomitisa then vakanga vasiya mwanasikana uyu akukura achichengeta mwana naye wacho and the cycle of poverty yoramba ichingotenderera paari. Saka ndosaka tichibva tanyanya kuita kunge tiri kubata vanasikana ava semazai, asi tine shungu chaidzo dzekuti tibate vana vose vasimukire at the same level, and our government really need to step up.
Thank you so much. Let me get my co-host back again. Sir?
Yes, I will have Mrs. Richards say her last word too. Mrs. Richards, sesigqiba-ke uhlelo lwethu. Ngakhuluma-ke lapha lokugcina ukuthi uthini-ke ngakho konke lokho kade sikukhuluma nje singathi recap. Besikhuluma-ke nge-COVID nama-human rights issues.
Mina-ke ngithi-ke angifuna nje ukuthi ngezelele mbijana lapha umama organization yakhe le ukuthi ngezelele nje ukuthi ama-members of parliament have got a duty to play. Umsebenzi wabo bavotelwa ngabantu ukuthi behambe eparliament bebamela ba-represent ama-problems abavela lawo ku-community hathi abawacabangayo bona ngezingqondo zabo. So ama-problems abanikezwa i-community yowafana bawise ngapha kukhulu eparliament ukwenzela ukuthi baphiwe lezo zimali ukuthi bayidevelop ama-communities abo abantu bonke khona endaweni yabo area yabo. Njalo ngakho-ke ngiyakhuthaza ukuthi uhulumende weZimbabwe kufanele ukuthi
laphana ngikubambe umlomo mbijana ungamtshela nje ngolimi lesishona khona ezazwisisa ukuthi uphendula yena bese sibuya-ke
okay ngithi ndiri kuvumelana zviri kutaura namai vakamira organization yavo kaizvi asi zvimwe zvinhu zvikuru ndezvekuti member of parliament it's like vekuzimbabwe havazivi basa ravo kuti vaite member of parliament vakamirira chii, vakasarudzwa nevanhu. Sezvo vakasarudzwa nevanhu vanofanira kuenda kuvanhu vounganidza vanhu votaura nevanhu vounganisa maproblems vonyora maproblems ecommunity yavo yese voenda nawo vowarepresenta kuparliament kwavakarepresenta vokumbira mari inozodzokera zve kuvanhu vavo kucommunity yavo ikoko inozobatsira community yavo, because it's so sad kuti at this day century, the 21st century, isusu muZimbabwe kuti tiri nevana mwana musikana achiri kutambura achiri kufamba all those kilometers achienda. I know even in my area zviripo futi zviri kuitika izvozvo, asi dai hurumende yedu ikasimudzira chirongwa sekumareserve noti kuti vangofunga mareserve vakuda kuvhoterwa chete, ende isu toda zvekuvhota kaizvi tinongovhotera chero munhu tongomupinza chero asina kana zvaatiitira. Tinofanira kuvhotera munhu anozotishandira who will listen to our problems. And going back to what we've been discussing, ndinokurudzira kuti hurumende please vedu mukai mumagumbezi amakabata iwawa, wake up from your blankets, mungoshandira Zimbabwe, mungoshandira vanhu vekuZimbabwe zvisinei kuti munhu ari pati ipi, endai munoshandira vanhu. This is a difficult time yeCovid yekuti vanhu vese vanofanira kuchengetedzwa nehurumende. Kana hurumende isingagoni kuchengetesa vanhu vayo ichingozvichengeta ivo vega vari vashomanene ivo vari kungozvichengeta, ngavachengete vanhu veZimbabwe, vasangochengeta vanhu veZimbabwe at different intervals. Nguva yese vanofanira kuchengeta vanhu veZimbabwe.
Time is not on our side, unfortunately, so thank you so much. I think, we had a really fruitful discussion. We had powerful women on our program, but time is not on our side. So we want to thank you, Lucy Ndongwe Chikowero, also Star.
Yes, so also like to thank Miss Carter Richards, umasibanda umgcinisihlalo ke wogatsha lwe-Welsh khona le eBrithani besengilandi ebandla le-MDC ayibasinike imbono emihle sibili lapho besixoxa khona ke kodaba ke lokuhlukuluzwa kwamalunga ebandla le-MDC. Sakhuluma ke la ngodaba lwe-coronavirus lokuthi impilo inzima kakhulu ebantwini abesifazane. Siyababonga kakhulu njalo silugqiba lapha-ke uhlelo lwethu lwalamhlanje olivalelisayo yimi uSithandekile Mhlanga ngikho napha eWashington DC.
I'm Marvelous Mhlanga here in Washington, D.C., where we're broadcasting from home because of the COVID-19 coronavirus. And this is a pre-recorded program. So by the time you watch this, you may find that the figures that we've been giving you on the COVID-19 positive cases globally and in Zimbabwe may have changed. Have a very good evening. We meet again tomorrow on Let's Talk Ngati Kurukure.